This episode is brought to you by John Blake Sales Breakthrough Solutions, helping you to at least double the amount of leads that you get that convert into paying clients.
Welcome to the Master Dealmakers Secrets Podcast. And now, here's sales growth strategist, John Blake.
Welcome to Master Dealmakers Secrets. I'm John Blake. This is episode 176, and today we are going to continue in my best book series. So these are the books that have had the biggest influence on me, my business, my sales career, and my coaching business, and my ability to be able to help other clients. Last week, we talked about The Ultimate Sales Machine by Chet Holmes, and today we're going to be talking about Start With No, which was written by Jim Camp, who sadly passed away a few years ago, but there's plenty of wisdom in this, so we're going to be talking about that. But before we get to this week's book review, I wanted to make a resource available to you. It is at johnblakeaudio.com, and what you will see there is my system for converting more of the people that you've spoken to but haven't actually bought yet into paying clients. And it gives you the step-by-step process that you can go from taking all those people that are sitting in that column in your CRM that says proposals sent and move them to deposit paid. Now, what we know is that the vast majority of people will give up on those people after about 2 follow-ups. But what we know is that there's a massive chunk of people that will buy usually between follow-up 3 and follow-up 5. So it's over at John Blake Audio. What you'll get is a 15-minute audio that walks you through the step-by-step process. What you'll also get is a PDF guide that has the word-for-word templates that you can use, and it'll provide you with exactly what to say when you call, exactly what to say if the person answers, exactly what to say if you get voicemail, exactly what to write in your emails, and exactly when to send your emails and when to call over a 90-day period, such that the person perceives you as professional and as proactive, but not to a point where they want to take out a restraining order on you. So it's at johnblakeaudio.com. Go grab it, put it into action, and let me know how you go. Okay, so on today's book. So we are going to be talking about Start With No, written by Jim Camp, sadly passed away a few years ago. This book was particularly influential for me. Probably my biggest takeout, the thing that I like the most about this book, is that it talks about focusing on your behavior and your actions. So the thing I like about it is that Jim talks about the fact that you actually don't have control over the outcome of the actual conversation, the sales conversation or the negotiation. You don't have control over that. A lot of people who listen to the podcast want to know what we do over at Master Dealmaker Secrets. And effectively what we do is we work with sales professionals and business owners all over the world who are seeing massive increases in their top line sales revenue. So we help business owners and sales professionals to effectively focus on the 3 key drivers to growing sales revenue in your business. The first one is controlling the message that you send out into the marketplace so that potential clients see and hear and read what you do as an opportunity as opposed to your competitors. The second thing that we do is we help you to create a direct path to the 20% of your ideal clients that will deliver 80% of the revenue. So everyone knows the 80-20 rule. We help you to develop a direct path to the 20% of the people that are going to give you 80% of your sales revenue in your business. And the third thing that we allow you to do, that we create a process for, is for you to be able to double the amount of leads that you get that convert into paying clients. So if this is of interest, we do have an application-only process to become involved in this particular program. And to get to there, all you need to do is to go to www.johnblakescall.com. So it's JOHNBLAKESCALL.com, and there's a couple of questions to answer there, and then what you'll do is get on a quick conversation with me, and I can find out a little bit more about what you've got going on in your business and see potentially whether what you are doing would be a fit for what we could help you with. And at that point, I can extend an invitation if it's a fit, and you can make the choice to come on board or not. So that's the opportunity. That would be the next step if you're looking at how you can take things to the next level. If you're enjoying what you're hearing on the podcast, if you're getting value from it, I invite you to do that, and I will look forward to talking to you. The website is www.johnblakescall.com. Talk to you soon. You don't know who's going to say yes and who's going to say no. And there's evidence of this where you've had sales where you thought that it was an absolute no-brainer and the person didn't buy. And you've also had sales when you thought that there was no way in hell that the person was going to buy and that they bought anyway. So you actually don't ultimately have control over whether they say yes or not. So the idea is to focus on what you can control, and that is your own behavior and your own actions. And then ironically is that if you do something often and consistently enough, after a while a pattern will appear. So if you get better at this, ultimately you will get more people that will say yes anyway, but you don't know which ones are going to say yes and which ones aren't. So he talks about the danger of neediness, and that's massive. Like it literally creates a fear mechanism. If you're needy in a negotiation or in a sales type context, it actually triggers a fear response, a primal fear response in the person that you're actually talking to, and he talks about that. He talks about how decisions move negotiations forward. So often, and the whole idea of start with no is that sometimes it's easier for somebody to ask a question that's framed with the answer in the negative that will actually move a conversation forward. So sometimes people feel more safer saying no to something than what they do saying yes to something. So an example of that would be, would you object to if everything goes well today, would you object to moving forward today to a second meeting where we can show you some investment options, right? Would you object to that? So the person's like, well, no, I wouldn't object to that. Whereas if you were trying to arbitrarily force them into a yes answer, then they might have some resistance with that. So that's one of the examples of what we're talking about. So he talks about focusing on your behaviors and your actions, focusing on the assumptions, expectations, and preconceived ideas that people have when they go into a negotiation or into a sales type situation. Working out who the actual decision maker is, working out time, energy, money, and emotion in terms of what makes people buy. And there really are some really powerful lessons in this, and that's why it's a book that I would highly recommend. It's a pretty easy read, and there's some good examples in there. So that is this week's recommendation. I am really interested to get your feedback as to how you are finding these episodes. If you would like more, please drop me a line. You can just Google me at John Blake Sales, and you'll find my website. You can drop me a line there. Or you can email me at john@john-blake.com.au. I hope you got some value out of today. Thanks again for listening as always, and I will talk to you on the next podcast. Cheers.
You've been listening to Master Dealmaker Secrets with John Blake. Subscribe to get more in-depth strategies and maximize your sales process with new episodes every other week. And double your inquiry to sale conversion with the lead flow you already have. Go to johnblakeaudio.com for his exclusive, free, no-fluff audio training and companion PDF guide.